Have some water if you need some as well. There's a half-drunken one there for some reason.
Thank you, sir.
I've actually gone with Aspen today. Bit of promo for Aspen Insurance.
Oh,
They're
nice.
a big insurance company, and they
Done something with them then?
yeah, they've just started. They're supporting us in a way. It's good. Actually, had a real good chat with them. They were like, they come to an event we had last week, and they would have said, you might not like it, but you're a corporate construction charity now. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you're up. You're up there now. Like everyone's seeing you, noticing you. You've got to get yourself ready for what's coming. I was like, oh. So
Good thing, no.
Yeah, it is, because we're up there with the big guys, shall we say? And we're being recognised by the industry as a whole, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And it's just a case of preparing ourselves for what's to come. So, yeah, we had a cinema. We hired Everyman Cinema at Liverpool Street last Friday, and then had a half-hour-long movie that Alex put together, of which you featured, actually.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, he needs to stay because he's in it.
Yeah. See?
I made it.
Yeah. You and Andy Good talking at the rugby event.
Oh,
Just talking about
nice.
rugby
Yeah,
in general and construction sports. So, yeah, we had that on, and it went really well, didn't it? And we had a few panel talks, a panel talk before it with a few people who helped found construction sport.
Yeah.
The companies that come on board day one. And then after it, we had two other panels, one about the culture in construction, and then also another one about campaigns, like this Lost City campaign, and get construction talking.
Nice.
Yeah, went really well. And we had a couple of drinks after, a couple of Guinnesses, nothing major. And then, went really good. So now it's just like, we've untapped this world of this cinema thing. Was like a really cool way to do it. Because we're making high definition, like the cameras is all 4K stuff. So it blows up onto a cinema screen. And it still looks fucking awesome.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so we went out local to my house into a field at sunrise. And he filmed us literally just talking about construction sport in general. And then that got played over. Played with a load of B-roll put over it, and then yourself merged in there, and a lot of rugby stuff, football stuff. Yeah, awesome.
Oh, amazing.
It was really cool. So we're doing a bike ride, what I think you're going to sign up to.
Yeah.
April the 7th till April the 10th.
Yeah.
Round about when this will go out, potentially.
Probably, yeah.
Round about this time.
Just
We
before,
might
be out just before,
I might be on my back somewhere in the Midlands in a ditch at this point. We're cycling from Hinkley Point, what's in Somerset.
Nice.
On the west coast, a nuclear power station project, which got over 12,000 workers on it. And we're cycling to Suffolk, east coast, nuclear power station, what's got another 8,000 at the moment, but going up. That one's just started. Hinkley's been going for the last 10 years.
Nice.
Sizewell's just getting started. And they're both owned by EDF Energy.
Nice.
And EDF got in touch with us. It was really cool. Taking they're a big player. And was like, we want to do something with what you guys are doing. We think it's aligned with our workforce. And then I was like, you've got a few people on your site, haven't you? I was like, yeah, 12,000. I was like, holy she's. We've unearthed a rugby team, Bridgewater Rugby Club, down in Somerset. They, 15 of the players there actually work at this place as well. So I was like, well, there's a game.
Yeah.
And there's a little tour. And it's not a million miles. I know it's probably an hour or two now looking at it, but Gloucester's not too far away.
Yeah.
So we are in talks with Gloucester.
Oh, amazing.
The stadium. Yeah.
What, for the game?
Yeah. Similar to what
amazing.
we've done at Saracens. And then going down there. That'll be in the summer. We were going to play at Leicester, but that's just been changed because they only can give it, it's the actual pitch, grass, isn't it?
Yeah.
They can only do 1 week a year that you get the opportunity. And we had it for the 11th of June, and that's just changed. I don't know why. It's just something to do with the groundsman and the grass. And now we can't do it now. It's just they said we can do it, but we've got to do it in May. It's just too tight for time. Is it too tight for time? It is too tight for time. We've got lots on, haven't we? When we come off the back of the cycle, it's going to be mid-April, and then that's going to give me 3 or 4 weeks to just.
And there's also the edit for it.
I haven't got the energy. I'm not gonna lie. And we do it. They just do this bike ride, but yeah, it's brilliant. We've got loads of time, but by the time you actually get people communicating and things moving, like you haven't got long to it. So we like 3 weeks ago we went out there and was like, look, guys, we need volunteers to come on this bike ride and raise £2,000 each to help fund it and support it and do it. And we want up to 40 people. Well, 45 people inquired, but when it actually come to turn that round and getting 40 people to have 4 days off work.
Yeah.
And then trying to get their companies to support them whilst they're on it as well and not have it as annual leave.
Yeah.
So we lost 20 odd, 25 that just couldn't do it. A lot of them with EDF Energy guys actually as well, unfortunately. But a lot of French as well. I think they're French owned, EDF.
Oh, nice.
Don't worry, Alex. I won't mention the fact that you're French.
Are you got French in you, have you?
Oh, not this again.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Family's from Lyon.
Leon.
Lyon.
Is that first generation? Is that parents or?
His mum.
Yeah, my mum was from
50%.
there. My mum
Oh,
moved
wow.
here like 30 years ago.
You speak a bit of French then?
Yeah, I'm fluent.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oui.
Are we?
Alex,
Brag or anything, you know.
you've got nothing to brag about, mate. You're French.
I'll set you up for that, Joe. Right, do you want to introduce the guest?
Welcome, Construction Sport Podcast, Mr. Dom Morris, our pilot podcast guest. You come in, didn't you? Before this sign was here.
Yeah, I came
You
into the very
in,
first
I
one.
said,
Yeah,
can we test it
honoured.
out? It is, and now you're here.
It's an honour to be back.
We are in full flow. We completely know what we're doing. And then, just going with it. I've even got my rugby shorts on for this one. I've got my rugby trousers on, and I'm ready. I've got skins underneath this. I know this room's actually quite tight. But I've got Leicester shorts on, but that's why I put trousers over the top.
Disgraceful.
Yeah, I did. I got them last year at the ground when I was there. They had a pair on offer, so I took that. How's life, Dom Morris?
All good. Can't complain. Bit of a shift recently. Obviously retired from professional rugby and now trying to navigate the journey from there. But been very busy, which is good. But I'm doing well.
It's all good. So we up now is Uruz.
Yep.
We say, isn't it Uruz? That's the
Uruz.
one. That's the
Yep.
brand.
Yeah.
We're out there, and that is all about biomechanics, isn't it?
Biomechanics, health and wellness, fitness. Yeah, it's kind of just all of the lessons I've learned from my decade in professional rugby put into like my philosophy and my way of doing things. So biomechanics is a really big part of it, and that's basically looks at how the body moves, how you look at it as an integrated system. And that's largely because I spent most of my time as a professional rugby player injured, surgeries, injuries. Yeah, so basically a lot of that is based on my experience and what I wish I did differently at the start of my career. And I'm trying to bring that to people so they can move at their best and perform at their best, whether they're athletes or, just high-performing individuals who want to improve themselves.
That's where it comes in, the high performance areas we want to target, is it, in the professional world?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's for a select number of people who really want to dive deep into themselves and understand how they're moving and want to get the best out of themselves.
It's like the creme de la creme of body engineering.
Body engineering, going deep.
Yeah, that's it. I like it. I suppose that's funny actually, because I always say that. Like I'm not academic, wasn't one to study or anything at school, but I'm massively into the mental health world now and love it. And so but through just want to understand it because yourself, isn't it? When you get into these worlds, you suddenly get a passion for it. Yeah. And, is it a growing thing by biomechanic kind of that world within professional sports?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think it's becoming more and more influential, especially in professional sport world. I think more people are paying attention to it, and I think it's becoming something that I think athletes are becoming aware of as well, and it's something that they can work on towards improving.
Do you find there's a lot more? I only listened to a few podcasts lately. I've listened to one with Anthony Watson actually, and Jim Robinson. Who's Jim Robinson? Yeah. I've got this every day. Listen to it. Moment blank. And they were saying about how it's not all about loading up the bar as much anymore and doing heavy weights as it would have been 10 years ago.
Definitely not. I think that's a large portion of what went wrong early on. Sorry, I can't speak.
Yeah.
I'm on a podcast and I can't speak. A large portion of what went wrong early on in my career. I think I very much I had that mindset, put as much weight on the bar as possible and just lift. But I think when you actually take a moment to step back and look at it, like you don't just lift a weight up and down as heavy as you can on a rugby pitch. You're like twisting, you're turning, you're doing things in all sorts of different ranges of motion. Biomechanics, exactly. Yeah. And if you're just training that, and if you're just training up, down, in all these linear patterns, that's not very transferable to the pitch.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I'm so fascinated in it, because I think I look back at how I trained at the start compared to how I now think I should have trained.
Yeah.
But that's not just for rugby. I think that's for life in general.
Yeah.
I think you see too many people in the gym just on the machines, just doing this.
Yeah.
Whereas you should be moving in all facets of motion.
I've not been back. I can't wait to go back. Benji goes everywhere, but the jiu-jitsu stuff and just seeing that and how you can see these people who don't look like much can just take down big people just by knowing body movements and how to do things.
How cool is that?
Yeah, isn't it? And I think, that's what we need to push on. So my dad used to, don't give much credit, but he's been on the podcast recently, so I can't say a few things. But he used to always say it as well. He's like, Steve, you don't really go gym, just push-ups and sit-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, and that was pretty much it. Am I sorry? No, didn't know that. Just push-ups and sit-ups. He said just do push-ups push-ups and sit-ups before you go to bed and when you wake up.
Yeah.
And then go for a jog. And he was always like that. And he was fit as a fiddle. He's not anymore, but he was in the military world, only territorial, but he was fit as a fiddle back then. And I'd done, before I had a failed, bottled career of joining the Royal Marines, I remember that it was part of the training you had to do to potentially go down, what I didn't do in the end. You had to do X amount of pull-ups. So I started doing a pull-up and I was watching something on TV. It was like, no, you don't. It was all like that movement with the hand. But then it was like, no, do it that way. Because if you're climbing up a hill or a mountain, you're going to, or you pull yourself up, you'd do that. You wouldn't pull yourself like that. So
very true.
Just those little things, isn't it? So I thought, well, that's interesting. But all the little things you don't think of at the time.
What was the bar at for the Marines? How many did you have to do in a row?
I can't remember. I can't remember how much it was, actually. However, I have got a claim to fame on that one.
Go on.
I done your brother, Sean, on pull-ups.
Yeah.
At Exeter Rugby at the stadium. We were about 15 beers deep on a rugby tour, and me and Sean were both tour virgins, and we held onto the steel column in the bar underneath Saracens stand, and in front of so many people, and I made him.
I like to hear that.
Never beat him at anything else, and I don't think I could have done that if he was sober. Either. We were both tour virgins, so it was a very busy weekend, and we had reasons why we weren't probably high performance athletes that weekend, but I beat your brother, so
happy days.
Yeah,
good on you.
That is. But yeah, I've said this many times, but I'll say it for the podcast. Your position, you're outside centre. Was your preferred to
inside, outside wing? But yeah, probably preferred position was outside centre. Yeah,
and I always say to you, I've said before, I was probably the first centre that you saw playing rugby, so I probably inspired your whole career.
No, honestly, you did.
It was all me.
I remember the days down at Southwood and Ferries. Just
Who is that athlete?
Who is that guy? I want to be like him.
He's just been missed. The one who's just tore another hamstring. But what age did you get playing rugby?
I started as early as you could, so 4 or 5 years old down at Southwood and Ferries. Yeah, I used to play football, rugby, alternate weekends, but kind of just grew into the rugby and kind of got inspired by older brother Sean.
Yeah.
Then Vincent and everyone all my older brothers, so three brothers.
Yeah.
Obviously all playing, so that kind of inspired me to go down that route.
And as soon, especially with Sean, you were all I obviously played with Sean for many years, and it's awesome. But yeah, when he comes home and just wants to smash up, play rugby, then you just follow your brother's footsteps, I suppose. Yeah. You see that obviously with the easy ones, two Alangi brothers, isn't it? Now they all just followed each other's footsteps. Then Ben the Youngs, and how many there are Currys. The brother thing is amazing, isn't it? How many actual.
Yeah, I think it must just be garden sport, right?
Yeah, it's got to be.
That's what I attribute like our success in rugby to, is probably just being in the garden 24/7, just beating each other up, playing sport like cricket, football, rugby, whatever sport in the garden, and having like three brothers to do that with, pretty cool. So you can have a proper 2-on-2, can't you?
Yeah. Well, I remember Lee Guess used to. Mike was at England under 21s at the time, and Gloucester. And he would come home from Gloucester and then be like, obviously at his peak. And I suppose he was around the 20 stone mark or 19, 20 stone, fit as a fiddle with it. And Lee would be 15, 16 in the garden, like not an ounce of fat on him, just a beanstalk, but would literally he would take his brother on full force in the garden. Like, Steve, do you want to come, asking me to play as well? And I was like, no, not on, fine, thanks. And they were just absolutely clattering each other. And but then Lee, that's probably why, aside from your brother as well, Lee was probably the best player I ever played with, because he just would tackle everything and he was fit as a fiddle. And he just ran and ran and ran. So, the brother thing, it's good because Currys have just become the first. What were they? There was something about them.
They started 6 and 7, was it? Was it something like that?
Yeah. It was a few records they've got, isn't it? As the Curry brothers, what they've done and started. But plenty of it. Rugby. So now hamstrings, a few injuries picked up. And, into the working world.
Into the working world.
Street.
Yeah, it kind of got to the end of last season, and I was just on loan to the Ospreys after having a couple years of injury spells at Sarries, surgeries, and then they kind of pushed me towards Ospreys and said, go get some game time. You've been injured, blah, blah, blah. So I went to Ospreys on loan, picked up, tore the ligaments in my ankle, out for 3 months.
Yeah.
Meant to be back, starting the game back from the ankle injury, and then hamstring just tore pretty much off the bone, hanging on by a thread. Surgery, and then yeah, halfway through that rehab, redid the hamstring, another surgery, and it kind of got to the point where I was like, you know, this isn't. I'm not enjoying this anymore.
How do they do hamstring surgery? Do they go in at the groin?
No, they go in through the back of the hamstring, and then they just
Or in the back?
they
Yeah,
kinda
right.
just retension the hamstring and attach it back where it's meant to be.
It's like bungee cord, isn't it?
Literally.
Yeah.
Ding.
They never really repair, do they? When a hamstring goes, does it repair properly? Do they say that?
I hope so.
in the sense that could you it just go as I always thought once they're gone they just kind of I suppose if it proper tears, but what do I know? And then say that's the reason why I might keep them going. I just don't know anything about them. Mine are in absolute pieces at the moment from a ladies workout. It's International Women's Day this weekend, and it was also Women in Construction Week this week.
Right.
So we made a point of having an event with some women yesterday, and I'm in pieces.
They put you through the paces, did they?
Yeah, I've got no coordination as well. I'm so bad at it. Taking it, I should. My mum grew up doing loads of aerobics in front of us as a kid. I think that's why my sisters followed that one, and now she does her personal fitness stuff, and she's all over it. I just can't. I've got 2 left feet. I think it's just as soon as someone says if we're training in rugby. And we're running something, and they go, "This is what we're doing." I have to watch the first few people do it first,
Just so you can get in the flow of it. Yeah,
yeah. I can't have, and I suppose it goes to school as well, where people tell you something. I'm like, that doesn't go in my head. I need to see it. The horses are courses. I'm a good ground worker. I'll beat anyone that digging holes. I'll back myself on that one. And as well as yours, then your job as well. You've now into the city.
Yeah, so into the city.
Cool.
I went through a little athletes program at Amazon. So like they do an athlete military sort of program to bring like ex people that have been doing something prior, like being an athlete or in the military, and they kind of just run you through a few interviews and see if you'd fit in with their culture. So yeah, kind of went through that, and then they pushed me towards this role off the back of it. So I'm a brand specialist is the term. So
Can we say what sector?
Yeah. So I work in the tools and home improvement.
Hey, got the tools. On the tools.
Yeah. So staying true to the theme of construction sport.
I've inspired you again.
Yeah,
I'm just carrying you, Dom. I'm just carrying you.
But yeah, so that's kind of where I've ended up. And
have you got loads of tools at home?
Not yet. I'm still waiting for all the freebies, to be honest. I'm still putting in the sweet word.
Yeah, you got to. I was still waiting for a few. We actually spoke about that. We there's a company that we use for a therapy company that we use for like the psychological side of things. I was like, well, use me as case study number 1. They did, and then they sent me an invoice, and I was like, well, that's not fair, is it? I was like, I thought it was a freebie, but no. But oh, that's cool. Then. So is it all about? I suppose is everything going on to Amazon nowadays, isn't it? Amazon's just growing, isn't it?
Yeah. They call it the Amazon flywheel. So the more selection they get, the bigger basically Amazon gets. So the more people they can get selling on Amazon, just the more it grows. It's
unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a beast. I think it's been eye-opening going in there.
Yeah.
I think I've learned a lot. It's a big corporation, obviously a very successful corporation. Sometimes I feel a little bit lost because everyone's so smart, and I've obviously come from a completely different background with probably different skill set.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn how to use a computer, learn how to understand what's going on with 3 screens in front of me. Sometimes
you can see, look at the cursor.
Yeah,
It's gonna
literally. My first couple of days, I was like, wow. But I was like literally shocked at how like fluid it was. I was like, maybe I thought it was going to be a lag, but I was like, whoa. But yeah, sometimes I catch myself looking out the window, like I'm normally running around out there, but I normally get to about 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm starving. I'm like sitting there, like just want to get moving.
Yeah.
It's a big change, but I think I'm learning a lot, and I'm grateful that they've obviously given me an opportunity there. So I'm learning and growing, and
so they do it for professional athletes and also for the military. You say with
yeah.
Amazon.
So I think they initially had like a military program, which has been quite successful. So I think I'm actually in the first year of where they've introduced it to athletes.
That's cool, yeah.
Because there's a lot of crossover, obviously, between military and athletes. So
yeah,
it's the first time they've basically they've offered it. So I kind of went through it, and then they pushed me towards a role. So
that's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
They yesterday actually come up about the women at Amazon one, and it was shared by Victoria Goslin, who used to run the Rugby Centurions that we've done a bit with.
Oh no,
she's ex-military, so I wonder if there must be a good connection there.
Yeah, there's a big military influence within Amazon. Yeah, they push it quite hard.
That's cool, isn't it?
Mm.
It's just growing. I went over Dartford Bridge the other day. There's a huge factory there now. Amazon one been built. And I don't know why, but it looks like on the river there, that one day they will probably have their own little port bit there as well. You can
Yeah.
just see it happening when their own ships coming in and it just taking over. Unbelievable, wasn't it? Really, of what it was. It was just sell books to start with, doesn't it? It just sold books.
Yeah, I think it used to be called Cadabra.
Oh,
There's
was
a fun
it?
fact for you. Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, I remember that.
Cadabra. It's good. Quiz question, that, isn't it? Pub quiz question.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cadabra, abracadabra, and now it is an absolute beast.
Absolute
It's so
beast.
good though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's it.
Yeah.
They do what they say on the tin.
Yeah.
They get it to you next day 99% of the time, don't they?
Yeah, it's the way the world is, isn't it? And I know people say, the things like that is just what's killed the high streets, but there's a place for some things in the high streets. People just got to adapt and move on, don't they? And improvise.
Yeah.
But you're not going to, the way the world is, like, if as soon as I want something online, if I can't find it online, I'll just see if it's on Amazon and get it on there and get it within no time.
Yeah.
The mad ones, isn't it? When you order something in the morning, it's there in the afternoon. Yeah.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
Have you seen the?
Do you get faster service being a member of staff now?
I wish I did. I get slower if anything. No, I'm joking. Have you seen the fulfillment centers though with all the robots?
No, it's good.
That's crazy. Yeah. They're just it's all autopilot. Everything's moving, just on algorithms. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of people I've seen making businesses selling, like you say, people's businesses are on Amazon, isn't it? So you can, how it works. Isn't it? I've not done it myself, but I know people say that you literally, like eBay, pretty much, wouldn't it? But on steroids, because eBay was that, wouldn't it? You go on there to sell your own stuff, but incredible stuff.
Yeah, so that's kind of me at the moment.
How's the training schedule then now, going from what you used to train like to what you do?
I focused for probably the first 6 months out of rugby and just getting my body right. So I've been implementing a lot of the stuff I preach. So looking at how I'm moving, and touch wood, I'm feeling really, really good at the moment. So quite excited to try and venture and probably get some new goals to get after, because I think I'm kind of missing that, having like that North Star to aim after.
Yeah.
So I'm exploring the possibility of doing a Hyrox, which is kind of in trend right now.
Don't. It's in. Doesn't stop talking about them.
Yeah, so I'm exploring that, but yeah, I think I'm looking to get into something. I love my paddle.
Yeah,
that's been
it's awesome. I mean, I've not played it yet. Alex's dad played it a lot. Alex's dad was number 30 in the UK, wasn't it? Once.
He was like 200 about 5 years ago.
He told me he was. I'm sure he said 30 or 32, and it turned out there's only 33 people playing it at the time in the UK.
When it was a new sport, and he got to like 200 in the UK. Now it's not that.
Because he said he was going around building the paddle courts.
Yeah, he did. Building something.
Yeah, he was going around building them.
That's a big business at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah,
they're popping up everywhere.
Yeah, it's so good though, because he's bringing, like, my mum and dad are out in Spain now, and they're out there playing it. They get involved with it, and all their friends do it.
It doesn't involve too much running. Like it's not too intense on the body, and I think anyone can pick it up. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Benji, my boy, is, as well as the jiu-jitsu bit, he got kicked out of Padel for hitting the teacher with the racket. But I don't think it was. This was 2 years ago now. And then we put him back into tennis, and your mother will know because she teaches Benji. She's a little teacher, and supports him. He's a lovely child. It wasn't like him; it was completely out of character. But he loves his tennis, so he's keeping that up. But that's why we're saying about because you went to Felsted, didn't you? Did you? Newhall, sorry, Newhall, and that was eventually also a scholarship as well, wasn't it, for the rugby?
Yeah,
it's fascinating how that works literally. And that is obviously, you look at the Saracens Academy and things like that, you always see a new Hall person coming through, isn't it? So they literally will realise you're talented at rugby and then offer you a scholarship.
To be honest, I don't really remember how it worked, but I remember going for like a sports scholarship sort of trial when I was in year 6, so when I was like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
And then, they kind of just, I think there was a head of rugby there at the time who kind of like was interested in having me there as well.
Yeah,
and
I suppose they look at the fact your brother's done well and Vincent, that kind of thing.
Potentially, that helps.
Them for it.
Yeah, exactly. Made the path a bit easier.
Yeah, because we were looking at it for Benji. I was like, what would be so good to kind of like now early doors to target how we can get the children into it. It's interesting, isn't it? And I think it's now it's showing you've got to have an individual sport. I think 2 individual sports and a team sport, something like that. If you can show that you're at a certain peak with them.
Okay.
So we tried to use the fact that we took him out of school for a week skiing, that it was actually for his career development. And please don't fine us. We haven't had it yet through, but last year we did get fined.
Really?
Yeah, 160 quid. I got fined and Lauren got
160.
£60 each per parent, and they send you it per person.
Really?
So in my defence, me and Lauren was like, why didn't one of us just blame the other one and say it wasn't my idea. She booked it, or I booked it.
Half price.
Yeah, yeah. So it wasn't my idea. I didn't know it was going. The mother just took us all. Yeah, but what is going on to the rugby?
Mm-hmm.
So he was at Saracens. I've got a few things here on it, a few facts before, and then I can shut this up. So you had. Do you know what Wikipedia says? This must be factual.
Go on. Well, I'm 5'8" or something like that.
What are you? 5'11"? Is that correct?
That's actually pretty generous.
So someone does this.
5'10".
Have you read your Wikipedia? Before?
I think I have maybe a long while ago. What's it saying now?
That you was 2015 Bishop Stortford on loan.
Yeah, that was my first loan club.
Saracens Academy to Bishop Stortford.
Yeah, I loved my time there. That was a great club.
Was a
great community club.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on to Roslyn Park on
Roslyn
loan.
Park, yeah.
It says 0 points on here. No apps on both of those. Did you play for them?
I played about twice and then I blew my knee out and then spent the rest of the season.
The career path was starting early. You poor bugger. But then the big one, 2017, 60 caps for Saracens. Was that in 1 year?
No.
Yeah. It must be that over a few years, mustn't it?
Yeah,
It must be over the course. Yeah, just got there 2017. 60 caps for that's the first team. I take it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So can you remember your first game for Sarries?
I can, yeah. It was Wasps away.
Was it?
Yeah. So
where was Wasps in? Reading? Or were they?
No, they're up in Coventry.
Coventry.
Yeah. So it was actually at the stadium that they could hardly fill out.
So they were at Reading when I was a kid, so it was definitely when you was, yeah. So they were at Coventry.
Yeah. So yeah, came on for about 15 minutes at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So no, it was a really cool experience.
Who was your opposite man? Can you remember?
I think it was Jimmy Gopperth.
Oh, was it?
Jimmy Gopperth. I think he was playing at 12. I think I came. Oh no, so I came on at the wing. So I was actually against Anthony Watson's brother, Marcus Watson.
Oh really? Yeah, superb.
Yeah. So
That's
he's
cool.
a good player. But yeah, I don't know.
Is he still playing? Still going?
I think he was doing the sevens, and now he's.
Yeah.
Don't know what he's doing now.
Yeah. Did he was Irish as well? Oh, Anthony Watson was Irish, when London Irish. I remember back in the day.
You know, my rugby knowledge is terrible considering I've been a rugby player for the last 10 years.
Keep yourself on the straight and narrow. So you went from Saracens, 60 cap. Well, highlight of your career at Saracens is Heineken semi-final, was it? The Champions Cup semi-final?
Yeah, that was a pretty cool game to play in.
That was cool. I've been watching that.
Yeah, playing in that. I think, that's probably the biggest game I've played in. But I think, just being a part of, like, playing alongside some of those players, learning off them.
Yeah.
I think you take more than just rugby from them. I think I've learned a lot of life skills and a lot of, leadership qualities, and I've learned so much from just being around like those world class players and also the coaches and the setup. So I think just spent my whole career there. I think I've learned and grown so much as a person and a player. So yeah, no, it was amazing.
Especially when they were first person, I suppose, and might be a few of them, but your inside man straight away is Owen Farrell, isn't it? And he's like the ultimate leader.
Yeah. He's a bit of definitely.
Is he incredible? It was much. You hear everyone, didn't you? I know he has negative stuff in the press and has been whatever, but everyone who's played with him and speaks about him, it's all in high regard. I love him. He's great.
Yeah, I think he's the type of guy you want on your team, right? I think he can probably brush you up the wrong way if you're on the opposite team, but probably for the right reasons.
Yeah.
I think he's just a real competitor, and
he's loud on the pitch.
Loud on the pitch, and he genuinely wants the best for the team. So no, he's a serious player.
He'll be back, will he?
Who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see the England setup, won't it, if he comes back into that? But he'll definitely be coming. I think he's finishing next year, isn't he, in France? I think it's a short deal, isn't it?
I'm not too sure. I think it wasn't long, but we'll see.
Who else is there then? Jamie George? What's he like? Fantastic.
He's a great bloke.
I read this statement about him. Yeah, Paul, when he said when he come back into the England setup from because he was captain, wasn't he, and then stepped down. The Toadies took it, and then he's done. But he's doing well, isn't he? Again,
I think he's got his 100th cap this weekend.
Is it?
Yeah,
super.
So, no, he's a really good bloke and deserves it.
Yeah.
And he's done amazingly well, isn't he?
What's Maro Itoji's age to you then? He's older than yourself.
Yeah, I think he's a couple years older, 3 years older.
Is he?
So yeah,
professional.
Very professional. Again, lovely bloke. Very down to earth, softly spoken. Just great bloke, great rugby player.
Yeah,
and obviously doing things outside of the game as well. Really, really positive. So
yeah, it's interesting that thing. Yeah, about the rugby. You said about Toji because I just thought then because he done was it Ralph the Wren? He done a shoot.
He does all sorts. He does all sorts.
And he signed with what's the names? Didn't he? The American guys that I forgot what they're called now. What they do, but the way that they're trying to make superstars of rugby players outside of rugby now, isn't it? It's the way forward.
I think it's needed. I think it needs a big rebrand, doesn't it, rugby?
Yeah.
I think it's it needs to catch up with
Yeah.
with a few other sports because it seems to be lagging behind.
Yeah.
Obviously, a few clubs have folded now, so
Yeah.
whatever they're doing doesn't seem.
Jim Hamilton. I said Jim Robinson earlier. It's Jim Hamilton.
Yeah,
I know I said it wrong.
I nodded, pretending, okay, Jim Robinson, it must be someone.
I just thought that as well. It's Jim Hamilton.
Yeah.
Because Jim Hamilton does a lot on that, and he's talking about the fact that we need to grow the game and grow the people outside it. I always think about it as well. I think someone mentioned it before. I'm just doing someone, but how we all know who Michael Jordan is, and we all whereby a lot of people buy Chicago Bull shirts with Jordan on, even before the Netflix thing. When I grew up, it was all about Jordan, but no one knows the rules of basketball or watches basketball or anything. But that just shows, doesn't it, that he's bigger than the sport. Yeah, bigger than the sport. And all those people, even some of the Brady, what's it, Kevin Brady, the NFL, Tom Brady. Yeah, he was another massive one. I don't know anything about the NFL, but he's like huge. He now owns Birmingham, doesn't he? Birmingham Football Club.
Yeah. I think John Olomu had that kind of aura, didn't he?
Yeah, he was the first one, wasn't he? Like he was rugby, wasn't he? Yeah. But this when I grew up, it was John Olomu Rugby on the PlayStation, and it was just it was so good. Yeah. But there's never been a game like that ever again.
Rugby 08 was decent.
Was it? Yeah.
Did you never play Rugby 08?
Nah,
never.
I was too much Lomu. I couldn't go against him. Yeah, because again, he was just incredible, wasn't he? Well, yeah, Lomu done it, and Johnny Wilkinson probably done it in the UK. Yeah, because my age group. And we done well, went out what we done, me and your brother. And then there was a real massive surge of rugby players then, but it was all off the back of the World Cup because I would have been 16 when that happened, I think, 2003. So what was I? No, not even that. 2003, I would have been 10, 15. 14. Why was that so hard? We were 14 years old. So so there was literally, we would just it just went mad. Everyone wanted to play rugby, especially at school. That meant there was loads of us, and because of the school system, we all filtered into the club. Yeah. And then we done really well. But then like 3-4 years after, probably your age group, we started struggling really at Woodham, I think. And there was a massive gap, like 6-7 years, not really there. And now the club's actually, first teams come out of the league at the moment because they can't get one out.
Really?
But, struggling.
That,
They're struggling. So they're trying to get a vets team together every now and then. They've been holding the last 5-6 years. There's been a real struggle.
But they're good, is it?
No, they're Malden, who Alex is with over and played over there. They're getting 2 or 3 teams out every week. And
amazing!
Smash him. Yeah. They done something in COVID. What was really cool. What worked for me, and I'd noticed it because the guys went running past my window. I lived down the road from it, and they went out during COVID. But during COVID, they literally encouraged when you could go out in pods of 6 to do training with pods of 6. They were on a WhatsApp the whole way through COVID, moving. It was just on there. Everyone just challenged each other. And then as soon as you get pods of 6, they were just telling people go out and meet another 5 lads and you go for a run. Just run around town, just be with each other. And that held the whole club together, I think, from what I could see. That was and that was the reason why I was like, can I come over and play? I'm interested because you guys are sticking with it. Whereas, other clubs were just completely quiet. So it's easy to look back and blame COVID. Yeah. But you can blame it. You nearly had the Barbarians thing, didn't you, during COVID? I know
very
that
close,
was a taboo subject a little bit, but... Nearly a barbarian.
Yeah.
But it's just a crazy world, wasn't it? How that worked out.
It was bizarre. COVID times was bizarre, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
When you actually look back at what we did, we used to queue outside of supermarkets 5 meters apart and just, it was bizarre.
Yeah. How can that even be a thing?
It's weird because I look back at like COVID time and you didn't think it was that long, but the reality of it went on for 2 years, didn't it?
Yeah, 2.5 years. Yeah, because Benji would have been born and Trixie come along. Trixie was a COVID kid, if you could call her. She was like during there. And when she was born, I had to wait outside in the car park until like 10 minutes before they thought the baby's going to be here. And then we got called in and like the phone went. It was like, Mr. Gerza, you can come through now. I think the baby's going to be coming any soon. So she went in. Trixie was born. I had half out with her in the ward. And then they would hand it back to her and Lauren went into recovery. And then I had to go home, and that was like 6 in the morning. I wasn't now back there till 4 in the evening, and then I could only be there for an hour and a half because of visiting times. I had to go home. Yeah. It's just bonkers, isn't it? How they do the thing. Yeah, all these guys. It's so funny. We're in the car park, and it was literally like a row of cars, and it was lovely weather when it was COVID stuff. The weather was decent, and it was all just blokes with their feet, like doors open, feet up, like on their windowsills, just sitting there. And then every now and then, one would get up and walk in. It was just like everyone was like.
Did you actually clap?
It got to a point where it was like, and then like, they'd come back with the baby, like, hey! And then it was like the next call up, who's going next? And it was like 20, 30 cars just lined up with blokes in it.
Class.
Yeah, it was decent. But yeah, no, that's it. So you going back on the tools then? Are you do you have to work on the strategy for these things, or is it with the
Yeah, so
how
basically my role is I liaise with a with a point of contact within the tool companies, and basically my role is to improve their performance on Amazon and basically highlight where they can be improving their performance within that. So yeah, I'm kind of just a touch point between them and Amazon, and I kind of deep dive into all the metrics that come with all of Amazon's interfaces, and kind of get back to them and say, look, you need to be doing this, this, and this to improve, to be selling more, to be getting more reach. So yeah, that's kind of my role. It's not crazy interesting, but it's a good starting point for me to be able to just learn the basics of business and get myself out there.
Would the tool brand ask? Because there'd be a lot of people in our field that would be interested. But would the tool brand go to Amazon to then like liaise with yourself, or like? I take it to big accounts, aren't they? They're going to be, I suppose, what they're doing, these guys.
Yeah, so it's basically we offer a service called AVS, which is Amazon Vendor Services. So they pay a service to be able to have like a team to look after their account on Amazon. So they're basically AVS is they pay me to be able to just be like, this is what you should be doing. This is why I can back it all up with data. Yeah.
Oh, but that's interesting for you, isn't it? When you can see actually, what it all works out to be.
Yeah, I'm still working out how all the data works and stuff. But yeah, no, it is. I'm starting to get in the flow of it now, and yeah, the data's pretty cool. You can look at like like the gains from certain deal events they put on, because Amazon's big on like their deals. So like their spring sales events, their Prime Video, etc. So yeah. So
that's going.
Yeah.
Have to push them into some exhibitions. We'll get a few. So can you name the big ones you work with? Are you allowed to speak about them?
I don't.
That we won't do.
Yeah.
Construction sport stuff. Construction sport merch. We need to get on there with Amazon, don't we? We do. Tell it, Will. We've got a head of merchandise now. Will in here doesn't do much, but we'll get him on Amazon doing head of merchandise. Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's put himself down on LinkedIn as a head of merchandise. I was like, you've not sold a T-shirt yet, mate. Not him, Will, the other lad. And but no, he's pushing on. We've had a few. So I noticed the other day, I was looking at the accounts and stuff. I was like, where's the money coming? Where's this money coming from? And right, it's the jumpers and T-shirts that's starting to move.
Nice.
Yeah, so we started pushing them. Sammy, who came on the podcast last week, she's helping us. She's brilliant. She does it all her end.
Yeah.
And people order it from us, comes through our website, through our accounts, all that, and she gets a message her end. She gets it all printed up, all sent out, and bosh, and done.
Oh, amazing!
So we don't actually have any involvement with it, and we got a good deal with her. She does really well with it, and all we have to do is just ask people to buy our stuff, really.
Nice.
And it just helps push the button with it.
100%. Get it out there.
Get it out there, isn't it? Just superb.
Yeah.
Are you going to get into any training on the rugby side? Do you reckon doing any coaching or anything like that? Has it ever been an interest?
So. Well, part of what I'm doing with Uruz is I offer like performance training as well. So I've been working with a few guys where I kind of embed it all together. So the movement, the fitness, and then also rugby performance training. So I am trying to keep within rugby where I can, and obviously the odd coaching session at clubs here and there. I've been down at Bishop Stortford a little bit this year.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Obviously went down to Malden. Session down there.
I missed it as well. We are going to come out more because I'm hammered by Ian Keane now. End. Can you get Dom over? So yeah, it's me. The problem is me. I tell you, it's because I'm just literally got so much going on.
But yeah, I'm trying to keep in rugby as much as I can. But at the moment I've got the 9 to 5. I'm trying to grow Uruz, so I'm very busy. But yeah, I'm trying to stay in it.
And you are now engaged as well.
Now engaged, so
life's getting very real,
and also about to move house as well. So moving to a new house.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned because you sent over his drawings, didn't you? Come back. I sent over the guy's number, didn't I? When you remember you mentioned it. So about Adam. I just thought then, shit, did I reply? I was thinking if I just stitched myself up there, but I definitely did. Yeah. So it's all going through, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed. The last searches or the whole falafel right now, but. Yeah, I'm hoping to be in before stamp duty rises in April. So, because that will be a big hit if not.
Yeah.
And then, so exciting times, but busy times.
Yeah. Oh, amazing stuff. Awesome stuff. And then, we're going to keep you involved. And whether you like it or not, we're going to keep you on the rugby side. We need you. We're playing, like I say, we're in talks with the armed police at the moment. They want a game.
Amazing.
We're in talks with the Bridgewater and Hinkley Point. We're speaking to them a little bit. It's really cool, actually. They've got an on-site psychologist. Psychologist. I'm not sure exactly. We've got counselling. A lady helping out with the heads for these guys down on the sites, guys and girls on Hinkley Point. Because there's got 12,000 workers there, and she's dealing with all different stuff. People coming in for all different reasons. And then she also mentioned she's a physio as well. And I just got talking to her. She got in touch with us. I was talking to her over Zoom. Turns out she plays for Bridgewater Rugby Club, the women's side of it. And I think they do pretty well. Yeah. And she absolutely loves it. So as soon as I said to her about we need to come down and play rugby, she was really excited. So it's actually cool. I was like, now I know she's there as a female playing rugby as well. Like she can help us grow the construction rugby game for the girls as well. So
amazing.
Yeah, it's just like one thing leads to the other. So we are going to put a women's game. The idea is hopefully, say like to Gloucester, we have 2 games on in one day.
Yeah.
We do a men's game and then a women's game. And then I want to get, we want to start pushing to the schools as well a little bit because showing that. My theory is when kids look back at their shirts because I've got a shirt of mine. I can't remember what it is now, but as a kid, and I always remember looking at a photo and seeing that I should remember it talking about this. But if kids once they're grown up, look back in their pictures and they've got construction written in the front of their shirt, there's a chance we could push them towards it. And that's a bit of brand placement and strategically thinking.
In
these
their
people
brain,
think the reason why we were able to have that decent kit was because of that construction setup. Why don't we go down that way? That's the theory.
There you go.
We're just small steps at the moment. We're getting there and doing it. But that is pretty much, the rugby side of it with that. Andy Goods helped out a bit, obviously he spoke with as well, didn't he? So he's quite keen on pushing on with it as well, helping us along the way. So just doing everything we can. We want to go across the stadiums, but it's just being tough at the moment because the ones that aren't 3G.
Yeah, because they don't want.
There's like one week a year that you can get to them.
It's obviously Sarries is 3G.
Yeah,
Gloucester,
Newcastle is as well, isn't it? I think.
Yeah,
the team are very keen for tours as well. They're like, we must go to Newcastle to play.
Really? It's a good night out, isn't it?
What's Glasgow like or Edinburgh? Do you know? Have you played
Edinburgh's pretty decent. That's 4G.
Is it? Yeah.
Great city as well. I love Edinburgh.
Yeah, I've been there.
Never played at Glasgow, so I don't know.
Yeah. We do need to do the Edinburgh because we've got a few contacts up in Scotland at the moment. Yeah. And we have said about the England-Scotland game coming on, so that's quite cool. Yeah. So, there's a few big projects going, like massive, not offshore, but onshore wind farms and things like that, what are going on up in the Highlands and stuff. Yeah. We spoke to one company the other day and they were talking about it, about how they've got their guys are all remote workers and they're just like up in the Highlands, like no one hears from them, can get to them, and they're just like, we need to find ways in what we can engage with them. Yeah. And I'm not a single man, but it sounds like a single man's dream for me. I'm like, if you literally had, like, you're young, I suppose it's me in an old man's body, I suppose, at the moment, but just sitting up in the Highlands, just chilling out like full time. It sounds awesome, doesn't it? Just
escape the world.
Yeah, just escaping the world. Yeah. Just go to work in the day, do what you need to do, back to the mountains, have your porridge, oats, as they like up there, iron brew and a battered Mars bar.
Just chop wood, carry water.
Yeah, lumberjack stuff. Yeah, lumberjacking is what we want to get into. That is one thing. But Don Morris, cheers, pal.
No
thanks for coming on.
It's been a pleasure.
The studio's always here. Like I say, if you ever need it with Uruz or anything you ever get with the guys, we can drop the curtain bits. We put it out to my sister. Come get involved.
No, I appreciate that.
See you on a lot more rugby going forward.
Yeah.
All the best for Uruz.
No, thank you very much. And thanks for having me on. And
if you ever need any people to come out and test these tools for you, just let us know.
Yeah.
We can chop wood. We can drill stuff. We've got plenty of drill holes in this timber, as you can see. No, much appreciated.
I'll keep you in mind. Thank you very much. Been a pleasure.
Cheers, pal.
Cheers.
Thank you all. Off to rugby.
Let's do it.